Well, I don't know about you, but I'm already starting to go stir crazy. The thought of being stuck in the house for weeks has forced me to get the fishing tank into the living room, into the bedroom, and now it's set up so as I can try all my different lures. So what I'm doing at the moment is just trying some of the fantastic Molix range out of their soft plastics. This one in particular I've fallen in love with recently, the swimming dragonfly. Absolutely just a fish and an angler magnet. I love fishing with it as much as the fish like being caught on it. All I'm doing is fishing it on an eagle claw finesse jig head, fishing it Ned style. The one that's on there at the moment is weedless as well, but as you can see, just the slightest touch and just away it goes. I fish these as they are, fish them on jig heads, normal jig heads, American bass style heads, which I particularly like. Bit of skirt on it does tend to make a difference, but as you can see, these stand up perfectly. All I've done with this one is cut the tail in half down the centre, just to give it a little bit of a different action. You can swim them, you can drop them onto the bottom, and they just stand up beautifully. Slightest bit of flow, slightest bit of movement, and away they go. In lots of different colours and in 2 different sizes. Absolute perch magnets. Fish them like this. Another way is fishing them with no weight at all, just on a wacky weedless. Just let the weight and the density of the lure just slowly take it down in the water. But anyway, there we go. 3.5 inch swimming dragonfly on a standard eagle claw finesse jig head. Right, here we are back over at the tank, and in comes our lure. Slightest little taps. You haven't got to give it a lot of movement. You can just sit it, let it fall, and then just tap it back up again. Let it fall. Lift it up off the bottom. Just give it a tremble, literally just shaking it ever so lightly. Drop it down again. Swim it up off the bottom. If you pull it quite hard, you can get it to bend. But I much prefer just a very, very slow presentation. Just walking it along the bottom, over the rocks, anything else. It's virtually snag free. You can fish it with a weedless hook, which I quite often do in the summer, and put it in and around the weeds. And it just works really, really well. Just nice and gently, sometimes less is more. You can just stand it like that and just let the current just work the tip of the tail. The bites you tend to get tend to be quite solid. They tend to hit it. One of the things I do like doing is to hop it a couple of times. Hopefully something's following it, and then let it stand for a minute. Bang! They hit it. If they don't, as soon as you move it, they will. So it's just literally, just ever so easy, gently, just tapping with the rod tip. And again, just let it fall. Just lift it, just give it little taps, stand it up, walk it away again. So easy to use. Obviously you can fish this drop shot, jig head, anything you want, but I just think it works particularly well on this method. There you go, Gary's easy Neko rig. Well, here we go again. The other day, Adam was saying about how tough it is on the Gloucester Canal at the moment for zander, and I said I'd pop up a little video of one of the methods that I like to use when it's very, very slow and they just want something presented hard on the bottom and very, very gentle. 5-inch Molix satyr worm. Absolutely gorgeous stand-up worm. As you can see, on a normal jig head, They'll just sit there, tail up. You can load them with scent, anything you want. By changing the shape of the jig head or the way you fish it, you can actually get them to sit with a more body down, tail up position, and then it'll just slowly just swing up. You can drag them across the bottom as slowly as you want. Just the slightest movement will have that tail and that ball just working. Every time you move it, those little bubbles of air just getting released from inside the ribs. It's a good tip whenever you lift the little lure out the water, give it a good shake just to make certain you're shaking all the water out and getting as much air back into the ribs as you can. Look at the action you get. If you was to fish it drop shot, just sits there perfectly with that tail just working away. Absolutely just, if you're a fish, you just can't resist that. It's subtle, it's attractive, the lure folds up into nothing when they hit it. There's no problem with fishing it with a short hook on line. Just sits perfectly.